Hello everybody and welcome back to our John Deere Farm here. I'm bringing things home this October afternoon, and we're going to go ahead and sleep through the night. And for November, we will be plowing what was our half oat, half soybean field. As you can probably see here, we got this cornfield all done off recording, just so you guys wouldn't have to watch that entire process. And we'll be working up in that upper field. I may take this up, or I might just let the AI do it. But I did want to show you another thing I did off recording was that I built a little something for us over here. This little something is a shed, also green to match our green of our main building here. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you manage your space better, you wouldn't need extra storage, which is true. But being that I took up this whole bay over here for hay, I really wanted someplace under cover for this shed and this baler that I only use for round bales, and then I just put the tractor here. I don't know that it'll live there. I know there's a little bit of an issue with this height difference, but I don't know. It just felt like something that would make sense. I also put some dirt tracks in here where we've been driving a lot, just to simulate, the areas that we do drive more often. So that's the field that we'll be working in here in the morning. I'm hoping to use up these bales and this little piece of the sausage so that we can get that looking a little more intentional and a little less random. But yeah, we bought a huge tractor, at least huge by our standards, in the last episode. So it's over there ready to go in the morning. We'll be tabbing up to it. So that the old potato field's done, the cornfield's done, the old sorghum field is done. They're all ready. So that's the last one we have to prep for the spring. We can sleep till 9 in November. I know it will irritate some people. We have some straw on the ground up in that corner field. But I don't think I'm going to mess with it. We have plenty of straw in storage, so I may take this guy up there. I'll probably leave it. So here we go. This is the straw I was telling you about. We've got straw in this field. There's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 bales worth here, maybe more. But I'm going to go ahead and get this tractor going on a worker. I do really like this tractor, I'll be honest. Okay, get this guy going. I'm going to tab to the other one. Here it is. Maybe we'll drive this one for a bit. This is the tractor we got in the last episode. It has no problem pulling this chisel plow. Feels really good. Let's go ahead and hop in the cab. I didn't do too much cab work with it last time. So nice details here. The mirror's telling us there's a field behind us. There's the dairy out the window. So we've got one going across the bottom, one going across the top, and hopefully they'll meet each other in the middle. I don't know if I'll plant this. Oh wow, that turning radius, yikes. I heard that's very bad. I heard Daggerwind say something about the flotation tires on his newest tractor may influence the turning radius, and I was like, oh, maybe that's the problem. I put these big floaty tires on here, and that could be what's influencing our limited turn radius. So I don't know if it would look bad if I put normal size tires on it. but if it improves the performance of the tractor, I may end up doing that. So once we get this field done, we'll have all of our fields ready for the spring planting. I know there are a few crops that you can plant in fall, like we could put in some winter wheat, but honestly I don't think we really need regular grain for anything, and we don't really need straw. As you know, we're plowing that over. So if we don't really need grain and we don't need straw, it'd be silly to plant winter wheat. Alright, we'll go ahead and put this down. And let's see how a worker likes it. Alright, so here's the gator in our swamp. We can actually check, since we simulated through a month, we can check on the animals. So the pigs are sitting at 32,000 liters of food. They look pretty happy, so we could top them off, but we don't need to. For the cows, on the other hand, I did 2 loads of TMR for them last month, so they're okay. What about the open pasture? So we just have these 20 little ones out there. Are these ones gonna give birth? Yeah. These ones have some coming too. Wow. Okay, cool. So these guys have 9,000 liters of grass. So it might be time to take them a hay bale down there. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Because we're not going to make hay now. We'll make hay in the next year. I've already decided I'm not going to do quite as much field, like arable crop, because I want to do a little bit more. I'm gonna make more silage and more hay next year. I mean, we're not gonna plant another field of grass. We're just gonna do at least 1, maybe 2 harvests of our existing grass field next year. Well, that's kind of, that would have been fine, but let's go over more than that. There we go. Really? Sorry, I know there's not a lot to narrate here, so we're just gonna run this bale down, and then probably hop in that other tractor and do a little bit across the middle, I guess. Help out in that field, get that job done. There it goes. I don't know if I want to try to top off the pig food or not. We could take the gator up with whatever, because what they say, yeah, it's just a couple thousand liters low. The corn is good. We could do a couple thousand liters of potatoes, I guess. Get that root crop percentage up. I just try to give you guys a sense of all the different things that, you know, you do on a farm like this. It would be easy easy to just do the same thing over and over and over again. But there are a variety of jobs, and I think it's fun to mess around with different equipment. I like when you get to a certain point that you have everything you need and you just get to play with it. You just get to use it. You don't have to save up for it and do things some janky other way for a while. Just play. So I think what I might do is take 1,000 liters of beans up with me, and then I'll fill it up with potatoes. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think we can do it. Oh, it only takes 800. Perfect. So we'll run this, and then we'll do a couple rounds of potatoes up there. That was so fast, I was getting ready to hit R to shut it off, and it was like full. Look at that. Beautiful. It took a while. The off recording, I just, put some music on and had fun with it. And it ended up being, I want to say something like maybe an hour. I had 2 tractors going with the worker, and then I went over to the other field, the sorghum field, and worked it. So, very big farm compared to what I'm used to working. I know some of you guys are probably like, oh my goodness, I do this in my sleep, but for me, this is a big operation. Even this field over here on the right, this field 32, is bigger than what I would normally have on my farm. So this farm here is like, the potato field is like the only one that's the size of what I would normally farm. There you go, piggies. Have some chow. This is a really sweet little machine here. I always hit R, even though R is to fill up water, not to empty it out. Oh, look at that, 83 liters. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you guys, so I hooked up the 710 to this slurry spreader. I loaded it up because we have a lot of slurry. I don't think it makes sense to slurry the big fields. It just would be too much time. It would just take forever. But I did think about maybe doing slurry like on one of these other fields once we plan it. I know there are some bigger slurry spreaders and operations, which I don't know if that fits our theme. What we're going for, the vibes we're going for on this farm. I'm gonna hop in the cab for a drive up there, just something different. Well, you know what? Let's stop here at the swamp and clean this old girl off. I know we're just about to do more dirt work, so it doesn't make a ton of sense to spend too much time on this, but at least, rinsing it off so we can see out of the dang windshield. This old operation's got... It's funny, it's only 13.7 hours, but it feels like we've used this thing a lot. I love that the mirrors work. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's definitely accurately working because you can see my silage stuff there. That is pretty cool. Okay, this guy's doing good. Got about that far. head up to about, he'll be faster than this guy. So let's go about here. And we'll follow that line and just get to it. I'm assuming because, yeah, I was going to say, you can tell by the load that it dropped the plow. We'll just get a couple cuts here while we work on this field. Then in the spring, we can just do a little dash of fertilizer after the plant. Good to go. Big old duals on this girl. Let's camera. Sun over there. Actually, I never take pictures of the back of the operation. Can I? That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? There we go. I don't know if I'll really use it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Better to have it not need it than need it and not have it, you know? Sorry, now I know I've been pretty quiet there for a little bit, but just admiring the way this machine works, and it's doing a good job. Just humming right along, thinking about things. I don't know how you guys feel, but Farm Sim is always one of those games that allows me to almost like clear my head. You know, it's not as analytical as other things that I play, so I'm not sitting here constantly making 1,000 calculations. Just get in the groove. So we can see that guy up there going, that guy down there going. We got 3 big old John Deeres getting this field done. Let me know what you guys think about this decision to go across the field. Is this how you would do it, or would you go up and down the field? I think there's more stability going across the field, personally, and it's not like it's such a long and skinny field that it wouldn't make sense. So I definitely like this, but I know it's not for everybody. Also, if for some reason you just stumbled on this series and you're like, how does this guy have $100,000 in the bank? A couple of reasons. Some of it's because we earned it, and some of it's because this map has some issue going on where every day you get some money from property management ownership. So what I did was I built a warehouse on our own land, and so we just pretend that extra money is from the lease on that building. They send us a check every month, gives us some extra money. So that's how we role play it around here. If you don't find that a viable explanation, then sorry. I don't feel like, we're not like glitching in $1 million so that we can buy modern equipment. We still have very much a vintage style farm. I mean, this is mid to late 80s kind of equipment. I think our newest tractor was late 80s into the early 90s, so even if you wanted to say that this is set in the early 90s, you're still talking about 30 years ago, which is sufficiently vintage for my definition. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any requests of things you'd like to see me do on this farm. I want to keep using all the grain and things that we have to feed our pigs. I'd love to see our herd of pigs get a little bit larger, and then we'll start selling off some of the old ones. In terms of the cattle, I don't want to get too much bigger than where we're at right now, so we'll probably keep that rolling. And yeah, if you have other things you want to see me do before we move on to a different map, please let me know. I have a fairly good idea what the next one is going to be, so if you haven't checked out my other one that's going on currently, we've got a Carolina case farm where we're using vintage case equipment, and in the Eastern Carolina map, which I really like. I've enjoyed this one, but I am getting kind of ready to move on from this save. I feel like I say that and then I keep getting new gear and new kit and all that. So after we did the potato harvest, I didn't want to just be like, oh wow, we got 40,000 liters of potatoes and I'm gonna end the series. I wanted to keep farming for that. And I also don't like leaving the field in the state of disarray that I've had them in, so getting these all turned over is going to feel really good. And then we'll have some fresh crops and let our animals get a little bit bigger, and then maybe we'll move on. So I appreciate everybody's patience as we forge this series on. I've enjoyed getting to use equipment that I'd never used in the FS. For one thing, because John Deere is, all things considered, relatively new to the franchise. And for another thing, I grew up driving red, so just never gave John Deere much of a chance. So it's been kind of cool exploring these tractors and getting a sense of the horsepower and the overall balance and size and design that they have. Pretty nice machines. If we let our personal prejudices go to the side, they are pretty nice machines. But I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and do some work off recording, and I will see you guys in the next one. We'll probably go ahead and move to December, do a little bit of around the farm maintenance, and try to get to the spring and the heavy work again as soon as we can. That's enough for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.